Hello. I know that I haven't made a video in forever, and I have on the shades because sometimes because of light and just because of a screen, it can make me have seizures. But they have some special type of glare on them, or glare protection on them for me. But it's Henrietta Locklear again, and I'm coming to you because there was a big gap between what I was saying my second video and the last video. I didn't tell you how I had, what happened. So what happens is I wake up one night and at our hospital they make you stay because, if you leave and you get in a wreck or whatever, I guess you can sue them or whatever. So it had snowed, and you know how it's like bright whenever it snows, like it's got that extra light, especially at nighttime. So I was just laying on my back in a hospital bed, and I was just thinking, oh my gosh, they took and like I was just thinking that maybe I had been trying to help, and that they found me, that I'd fell asleep charting. So they came and got me, and that I was just in a deep sleep, and they put me in that bed. Because, sometimes you gotta joke around and stuff in the hospital because, it's a serious situation, and it can be overwhelming. It's stressful. So sometimes we joke around, nothing to hurt anybody, only in like our spare time. So I thought that they put me in the hospital bed, and I'm laying there and I'm looking up, and hospital patient rooms have the light has some type of decoration to it. So I was laying there and I was looking at the light, and I was like, as I keep laying there, I start thinking, this light looks different. And then finally, I look away. I look at my foot down. I'm not moving. I'm just looking down. And I see, on the board, on the bed, it says UNC. Now, I live in Lumberton, North Carolina. And UNC Chapel Hill. I knew right then, and I could see my legs, and they had bruises all on them, and just everything just looked messed up. And so I go to sit up. I can't. I go to press my finger that's on the cowbell that's on the nurse's head. I can't. I'm paralyzed. And if you ask, what's one of the scariest things that someone could tell you, especially a restorative therapist, they'll tell you one of the scariest things is waking up and being paralyzed. Like, if they have you in an induced coma, and I was in an induced coma, and I woke up and I was still paralyzed. So I had been asleep for 21 days, in the induced coma, and I'd been intubated and just everything. And so all this is just going on. I'm looking down. I'm thinking of paralyzation. I look over the corner of my eye to my left, and in my room is my mother-in-law. And I love her. Don't get me wrong. I love my mother-in-law. But you would think that if you are in a severe hospital like that, that would be your mom or your husband. I knew that I was married, and I knew my mom, but I knew my mother-in-law too. And I start crying because I'm flipping out. So I start crying, and then you can whisper while you're in, a paralytic state, being paralyzed, and you can move your eyes, but like that's it. You can turn them side to side, up, down, that's all. And I'm trying to call her name, and I call her Mama too. And so I keep calling her name. And finally she gets up. She's wrapped up real tight. And I've, I'm just in my little gown. She's wrapped up like she's freezing. And I said, "What happened to me?" And she said, "Henrietta, you started having seizures." And we went back and forth about how I don't have seizures. Henrietta, you've been having seizures. Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Okay, how?" And she said, "Henrietta, they don't know." And I said, "I'm in one of the best hospitals, and they don't even know how this happened." And so, as soon as she said that, I began to cry. And I cried for a while. She wouldn't have sat down, and she was looking away from me. I could tell at the corner of my eye. She kept saying, "Henrietta, don't cry. It just makes it worse." And I just kept crying. So I shed some tears. Alright. But I'll be back to tell you more. Because through all that wasn't bad tears. They were good. And it was a miracle that I was there and alive. I'll be back.